The Catechism in paragraph 1367 says that the sacrifice of Christ and the sacrifice of the Eucharist are one single sacrifice. Now, how can that be? Because the victim is one and the same, meaning the same Jesus, offers through the ministry of priests, who then offered himself on the cross. Only the manner of offering is different. So it's one and the same sacrifice. It's not a second crucifixion. That's going to be very important. But this is somehow a participation in Christ's one sacrifice. And since in the divine sacrifice, which is celebrated in the Mass, the same Christ who offered himself once in a bloody manner upon the altar of the cross is contained and offered in an unbloody manner, this sacrifice is truly propitiatory, meaning it appeases God. The justice of God is met in some way in the offering of the Eucharist at the Mass. Now, that's going to be confusing for a lot of reasons. Number one, this distinction between the bloody and the unbloody manner is already confusing. What's meant by that? I'll explain that at the outset, just so we understand what's going on. Because you might say, how could you say it's unbloody when we're offering the body and blood of Christ? Well, because bloody doesn't just mean blood is present, but that the pouring of blood. Like, I wouldn't describe you as bloody right now unless you've got like an open wound I don't know about. You have blood, but that blood is not being poured out. So when we talk about the bloody sacrifice of Christ on the cross, as opposed to the unbloody way in which Christ is presented now, we're saying we're not pouring out his blood again. We are not re-crucifying Christ. That's very important because this is one of the most common ways that I see Protestants misunderstand what Catholics are claiming in the first place. To make sense of this, already you have to have a sense that sacrifice is more than the pouring of blood. That's going to be a common thread to how many evangelicals today misunderstand it. And understandably, when we think about the sacrifice of Christ, we're imagining Good Friday. But in fact, biblically, the sacrifice of Christ includes Holy Thursday. It includes even the ascension into heaven. And we're going to see all of that as we go biblically. You don't have to take my word for it. I can show you it in the Bible.